right, so what's up, guys? So Buckeye Battles happened.
Yep.
I really wished I would have went. So I have mixed reports. The first thing I want to talk about Buckeye Battles is Knights. What happened with Knights? Did they bomb? Did they do? I heard mixed reports that they did really well, but then they flopped. What was the deal with that? Anybody can start with this.
I mean, we had 6 actual Knight players that were just solely Knights, and then we had other armies that wouldn't have a variance of 1 or some armators or other things of that nature. One player did really, really well. I think 2 or 3 kind of came up in the middle, and some just, I think, maybe were new to playing the Knights and didn't quite have the play style down that they wanted, and
Gotcha.
it didn't fare so well. So they were good showing, but they were pretty much spread throughout the rankings by the end.
And I had to just leave with that question because I'm a Knights fanatic. But this is Joe Elverson, and he runs the Buckeye Battles tournament in Ohio. They had a GT down there, and it went, I'm sure, very well. You guys had great attendance, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to. We had 50 on Friday registered, and then due to life and other things, we dwindled it down to 44.
Okay.
Which is still a good showing.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I mean, so who? I haven't looked completely at all the standings yet, but who came in first? Who won overall?
Jason, you want to take care of that one real quick?
From what I was told, that was me. And
Jason Sniegowski.
You finally was the bride, not the bridesmaid.
Finally the bride, not the bridesmaid. That's great. That's cool, man. Congratulations, though. That's great.
Jason won it with a max, well, not a max score, but the total score of 202 points, which was a record for Buckeye in terms of
awesome
points scored. So props to Jason. It showed all his hard work, his pain, his sportsmanship, and obviously his commander's presence on the tabletop. Definitely did him well that weekend.
Very cool. So were there any wow moments, really interesting plays that you witnessed at the tables?
I gotta say, there was a couple armies that I was wanting to see how they were gonna do. Jason's was one of them, just because of a low model count, but just tons of firepower. So we saw he ended up playing that pretty well, won it all. He actually played Jason Garner round 4, who's from Newark area, and he had a pretty much all dark Dark Elder army, and was playing that pretty well all week. And obviously Jason went into it pretty much tied for first place on Sunday, and it was just fun to watch. Brandon Gillespie came.
Yeah, my buddy Brandon. How did Brandon do? I wanted to help Brandon prepare more, but I didn't get a chance to play him before he went down.
He did fairly well. I think he still came up towards the top. I think he placed 15th, but he was playing Admech, and he had all the chicken walkers.
Yeah, I saw that.
And every single time I came over the table, turn 1, he was already in combat. So.
Well, yeah. Don't they move 14 inches? Yeah, those things are nuts. I think the Dragoons are really good. I don't know if how he I wasn't really sure how his army was going to do overall, with having that dedicated to it. But it's like anything. I think those are things that you just kind of go and figure out, and you're like, oh well, maybe I committed too much to my idea, and it just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. I know that Knights, and I was having this discussion with Joshua Death, that the Knight armies give up a lot of secondaries with ITC rules. I still think that people think that Imperial Knights are unbeatable and never want to play them, and they need to just sod off with all of that, because Imperial Knights are not unbeatable. They're very killable and they're very beatable. I think that everyone just has to kind of figure out how to do that again. It was like Custodes. Custodes was kind of the army to go to for a while, and then they just sort of fell off after I think Guard got less impressive and things like that. I don't know where they sit. I mean, did anybody play Custodes at Buckeye Battles?
there was John Garris, who played Adeptus Custodes. He came in 11th. And then there were some other armies that were not pure Custodes that would have, a couple guys on bikes as usual. But
were they using the guard farm?
I think the one guy, he was Blood Angels with some Custodes, and I think he had a small guard unit.
Okay.
But most of the people that took guard were either with other Imperial lines, but not a lot of Custodes. John Garris was the only one I think that actually played true all Custodes.
Well, good for you, John.
And he actually had some good games, but there were some games where I think the missions kind of didn't play towards his advantage.
Sure.
And he just couldn't pull it through. But another strong army. So our top 5 armies were Jason with Adeptus Astartes, Nathan Gould played Imperial Knights, Adam Amanda played Daemons, Brandon Burns played Craft and Weldar, and Nick Zixara played Tau. So those were 5. And there was a pretty good showing of a wide variety of armies at the event. It wasn't, probably the most was probably in their own 6 with the Imperial Knights.
So Nick's Tau came in 5th?
Yeah, Tau, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Congratulations to Nick. That's cool. I'll have to send him a message. But Tau are another one where I don't know if I don't know. I don't know how I'm decided on them yet. I can still say I think confidently the way I like to play Tau is just not really there anymore. At least to win for a competitive setting. The way I like to build a suit army and do that thing. I sink points with my Riptides and other big mechy suity stuff. I just don't. Definitely, I would say that my style of Tau is rule of cool as opposed to a winning army at this point. Commanders are just amazing. Commanders. It's all about the commanders still, I think.
See, I'm kind of broken on it.
Really?
I think the list I've seen do well is some, big heavy support with either some Riptides or a Storm Surge, and then a lot of infantry.
Fire Warriors?
Yes, Fire Warriors or Breachers. I mean, some of their abilities to boost with the Ethereal or, adding to their negative to hit with the Ethereal or, re-rolling because of a Fireblade support. I mean.
So he didn't take shield drone spam then.
I didn't see a lot of people with a lot of drone spam. I mean, people took drones to try to bounce wounds off of for durability, but I didn't really see any major stuff there. But can't remember what Nyx was compromised of. But the Tau list that I saw going pretty well had some heavy support, and then they had more troops. And I think that just maybe played towards the missions that were out there for Buckeye. Because a lot of people want to come and play Smash Face, but don't read the objectives or don't read the mission pack, and then realize, oh shoot, I should have done something completely different.
Yeah.
Go read gotta read the rules, but
right.
But no, for me with Tau is I really enjoy seeing the infantry. I think that's.
Do you think that? Oh, Alan said he was trying to get in, but he couldn't get in. I don't know how to There's a way that I can. I should be able to invite Alan with his phone number, right?
I want to jump in here on Nick's list. Nick's list was really good. Nick's list actually was very similar to the one that my team brought down to ATC.
Alan will be able to jump in. But yeah, I mean, I think that so. Were they both burst cannon Riptides? That's important.
Yes.
Okay.
And all ions on the hammerheads.
Fusion Blaster. What about Fusion Blaster spam? How do you feel about that?
Worthless.
Worthless?
You need a couple, and that's it.
So in general, you would say that that's pretty much a point sink.
Yeah. If you put 4 on a Cold Star, that's all you need.
Because I have a friend who's going pure Fusion Blasters. And they rip stuff, and he's also doing that shield drone spam stuff, though.
But if you put, fusion spam is enormously a waste of points because if I run, say, Tyranids, and you run into me in the tournament, and I got 120 gaunts, cool, I'm glad that you're spending a 40-point weapon to kill one model.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I don't. To be fair, I don't know that he's played any Horde armies yet either at the shop. So I don't know if he's just like hasn't seen that and then gone, oh no, I need to totally rethink this.
Yeah, I think any army that has access to high-end weapons like Melta or Fusion or things like that, doing a whole army of it's kind of a waste because of the Horde factor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love Tau is definitely one of those armies that's a Swiss Army knife. You can kind of take a little bit of everything to try to gear up towards anything. And seeing people do the fusion spam or, all that stuff, I think you're wasting what your army's good at, which is volume of fire.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game of rolling dice, and the more dice you make people roll, the better chances you have of them failing. So, like Jason said, 40 points for kill a gaunt. All right, he's still going to charge you and beat you to death.
Right. Yeah, my Tyranids list has been weird too. I keep trying to do real alpha strikey Tyranids and experiment with that and do like Gene Stealer stuff and just get them in there like charging for turn one. Obviously, I can get super kind of screwed for deployment if I got to run all the way across the table. I like lots of terrain though too, but I've just essentially been trying to experiment with different ways to get to them as fast as I can, swarm them with the Gene Stealers, and have a huge mob of Gene Stealers just eating stuff. But sometimes it worked out, but when it fails, it really fails, and I die like instantly. Especially in lower point games. I still think that when you try to do 1,000-point and 1,500-point games, certain armies are just way better geared for that. Would you say it's a fair point? Still to this point right now?
I would.
Definitely.
If you I'm trying to think of what's a good example. So what would be a good example of an army that you think would just basically always kill somebody if it's geared up and built the way it should be built, that would always pretty much annihilate somebody at like 1,000, 1,500 point game?
I actually seen recently a 1,000-point list that was Magnus, Mortarion, Brimstones, and that was pretty much it.
See, that sounds ridiculous. I think that I think Mortarion is just disgusting anyway. I still think Death Guard. So wait, there was no Death Guard armies?
There was Death Guard. Let me go back to the link here.
I played them now.
Sixth place was the Death Guard army. Matt Sniegowski out of Fort Wayne.
Okay.
Came in sixth with all Death Guard.
Yep, played him first round.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was wondering how that would have done as well, because I feel like they're kind of an army to beat at the moment.
They did fairly well. I think we had a couple Death Guard armies. Another one in 21st. Another one in 31st. And another one in 44th, which was our last play, Winter Mason Terrell. It was having more fun than probably really playing. So.
Well, I don't know why Alan can't get in. I've sent him his email link. I'm not sure what else I can do. I'll try and send him another link here. Oh, I think that's Alan.
Yeah.
Alan, I think, is Alan here? Is he in?
I'm trying to get in.
I don't know.
I think it was the Facebook talk he was in just fine.
Well, I saw him say I am here in the Hangout group.
Yeah, that was very...
Oh my gosh, we did it.
Man, the myth, the legend.
How many of us does it take, plus an IT guy, to get a Google Hangout session going?
You're the IT guy?
I know. That's scary, right? I'm the tech priest. You know what? Hold on. Just... All right, anyway. Oh, my goodness. All right, so... Yeah, we were just before we had you in, we were talking about the Army composition at Buckeye Battles, and I was saying that my first question right off the rip was that Knights seem to do very mixed, and being a laughing in gold Custodes fanatic and a Knight fanatic, I had to ask about that just right off the rip. But they were saying that people really didn't grasp yet how to play them. I don't think with the ITC mission rule. Do you think that's a fair assessment, Alan?
I don't know about ITC as far as Joe's event. What I've witnessed is that I played against Nick Mills in the last round, and I didn't find Knights a huge problem because I had the 3 Baneblade thing going on.
3 Baneblades? Alan Blount, shame on you, you degenerate, wacky man.
It was filthy as hell, but...
Absolute mad lad! What is wrong with you? I didn't find the Knights that were a big problem because I had... No wonder, you ass! Dude, I scheduled a game with a guy who was in Ohio, and I wanted to play my Knights. Now, granted, I had a couple Forge-World Knights, but he brought 3 Shadow Swords and beat my ass. No kidding. Like, 3 Shadow Swords are tailor-designed to kill my Knights. Like, it was just going to happen.
Correct.
So...
And it did.
And it did, yeah. Yeah, I bet. We had a guy, Mike LaMotta. He actually made one of our shop owners. Well, you guys maybe have seen Jamie, who runs the auto garage here, but I think maybe once he came to a Buckeye Battles, but he actually quit playing 8th edition like right at the start because Mike brought a Baneblade to a 1,000-point game, and he was playing Tyranids, and he just like immediately quit. He was like, "This edition sucks. I don't want anything to do with this."
It's a freaking Baneblade.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't set the balance of the game at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Sniegowski showed up with his Space Marines. Now, when you first look at him, saying, he might have a little bit of difficulty, but then as he starts maneuvering and using the synergies together, he's working it. He's fantastic, and that tells you that it's all in the player.
But did you have drop pods, Snigs? That's my question to you.
No.
Of course not.
No, I think my total model count was like 27.
27.
Yeah, at 2,200 points.
So what in the name of Pete is in a Space Marine army with 27 models at that point level?
This army was a direct response to Brad Chester's ETC list that I've been practicing with him for about 5 months now. I've been trying to test his list and figure out ways to beat it. So I finally came up with this horrible abomination, which is 2 repulsors, Gilliman, 3 units of scouts.
I see Alan nodding when he says Gilliman. Fucking Gilliman.
Hey, that's the pocket knife, man. Pop him in.
Yeah.
At 2,000 points, it's got Hellblasters and Aggressors, but at 2,200, I was able to drop the Aggressors and add a Fire Raptor.
Hellblasters are fantastic. I remember when they first dropped the stat line for Hellblasters, and I was like, these are great. And a few people were like, oh, no, those are going to be a waste or whatever. I'm like, 30-inch range? What are you talking about? These things destroy shit everywhere. For a minute, I was scared about Sternguard, and then I found out that they don't wound anything. And I was like, oh, AP -2, that could be bad. And then like I saw them play, and I was like, oh, they don't wound anything at all. I think Sternguard should be better, and I think Drop Pod should be better for any of us who are on the playtesters list that have any input into the next chapter of Proof. Just maybe not, go as far as I wanted to go with the Drop Pod. And no, I was not high at the time that I said that, Mr. Sniegowski. But, I think that they need buffed, at least. Can we at least agree that Space Marines need a buff? Or maybe, like, certain chapters need a supplement?
Well, If you're talking about stern guard, you have to think about there's a stratagem specifically for the stern guard, which it costs 1 command point, and it gives +1 to rule for their specialist bolters. So it's wounding 4s. It's wounding toughness 4s on 3s, wounding anything above toughness 4 on a 4, and
which is not good.
8 doesn't have to roll a 5. I don't know, considering that you can also mix and match in special weapons into the stern guard units also.
I suppose that's true.
Bolter has a 30-inch range. Then you go ahead and put a pocket knife right beside him. It's a good day.
Well, yeah, if you're playing Ultramarines.
Well, Imperial model, a boost, any Imperial model, on top of Ultramarines. And considering if you're using Stern Guard for Raven Guard, you're -1 to hit. If you're in rapid fire range, if you make them Imperial Fist, and they end up with Bolter Drill. I don't know if the specialist bolters can use bolter drill or not.
I think they can. That's the army I play. I think my fists just aren't they're just not there right now. I just don't think they're really there. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a scrub.
No, you're missing out.
Yeah.
I'm missing out not playing them?
Yeah. I think what you're looking at is that the Marine Codex, when it came out, it was one of the first codexes to come out.
Right.
And that's when they introduced the stratagems, and that's when you're seeing the specialist chapters within each of the Marines. And then every codex that came out after that, they did a little bit something more with the stratagems. Like by the time the IG Codex showed up, Astra Militarum Codex showed up, you end up with things like, wow, I've got Vengeance for Cadia, which means you play that stratagem, you get to reroll all hits and all wounds versus any Chaos keyword unit. And that was amazing. And then if you were playing a tank army, any of the factions can use bland defensive gunners. Okay, 5s to hit on 5 to hit on Overwatch. One of the things that I consistently used at Buckeye is that, oh look, I'm up against, I'm playing a Chaos guy. All right, well, I'm gonna pop 2 stratagem points. I got 5s to hit, and I get to re-roll wounds and everything if something's trying to charge me. In practice games, I've eliminated Mortarion, every Chaos character you can think charging a Baneblade.
Yeah.
And as the Codex has come out, the stratagems got more creative, got better. And basically, you look at the Marine book now, and it's like, oh, their stratagems, they're okay, but they're not as good as many of the other codexes. I mean, pop up, go through each Space Marine stratagem, then open up the Eldar book and go through each of theirs.
The main problem with this is that people are still trying to think 7th edition earlier. They're trying to look at Marines and other armies in ways that they're not supposed to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm guilty of that. 100%. I am guilty of that. I loved the way I played my Imperial Fist so much in 7th edition because it felt like I was playing Space Marines. I right now don't feel like it feels like my Imperial Fist Space Marine army.
You wanna try a really good list, Imperial Fist or Raven Guard, and bring 3 maxed out Scout Bike units. See what happens.
Okay, you send me a link or something to a theoretical list or whatever, and I will attempt to do it. But there's the other thing, because then I'm chasing meta. I definitely can't. I don't think I can just play with the models I've got, and that's what kind of annoys me about edition changes. You know what I mean?
Well, the TAC Marine has had its day. It's now the Intercessor now, man.
I've got and I've got Intercessors. I've got Hellblasters. I've got some of the Inceptors and stuff. But I mean, I got 3 drop pods, and then I've got that Land Raider Crusader. Well, those things aren't really that great. I thought they were going to be great, but I don't think they're that great.
The Custodes Land Raider is really good.
Yeah.
What's bad about the Custodes at all?
Well, hold up. as I laugh in gold, I think the Custodes Land Raider isn't that great either, really. I mean, I think that the Forge World tank, whatever tank it is, I forget what it's called, but the Grav tank, I think that's a better version of the Custodes Land Raider.
It's also about 3 times as many points.
I think it's maybe what, like 100 more points?
Non-power armor books.
No power armor books. You know what needs to come out next? More power armor. I swear to God, that's all they.
I don't think they will. I don't think the stuff likes power armor stuff.
You sure?
We're probably going to see something like new Eldar models, I'm sure.
In power armor.
You don't need new Eldar.
Guard.
Dark Eldar.
In power armor.
Okay.
I'm joking. Of course.
You could have guard with power armor, though.
If you guys have not seen it, the link for the ETC Army lists are out, and Sean Naden, the captain of the ETC team, is running Dark Eldar and Harlequins.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, after watching a couple guys play Drukhari and then the combination of either Harlequin unit or some craft roll with them, Eldari in general just don't need much right now. They can combine everything.
I think the Dark Eldar book was excellent. It's perfect how it worked the theme. I mean, the Vex, what is it? It's Vex Revenge, in which basically he stops the stratagem from going down. That's the most brilliant thing I've seen in the game so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Eldar need no help.
Alan, you're like sideways, and Jason is like making me nauseous because I keep staring at ceilings. There we go.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm packing up from my recent ATC trip.
By the way, how did you do at ATC? Let's talk a little bit about that. How'd you do at ATC?
ATC, my team went 3-2-1. I went 4-2. I think we placed about 20th, maybe 24th overall.
All right, man. All right. It's good stuff. I mean, did you guys? Do you feel like you were well prepared for the meta and what was going to be going on at ATC this year? Or?
I feel that we were very well prepared for the meta. The list I ran was a very hard denial list. Even the people that beat me didn't score over 25, 28 points. My list in total basically prevented anyone from scoring big except for the guy that tabled me from Warhogs.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check some more stuff out about ATC. I don't know. Did anybody stream the event, do you know?
No one streamed the event. There were a couple of guys that do podcasts that did get some like on-table video and some short interviews, but nobody streamed.
I am sorry I let ATC and everyone down by not being able to go. Jason had contacted me about some people who needed a teammate, but it was just a little bit short notice, and I had other stuff going on. And then, of course, I just told you guys I had this kidney stone thing going on, which super, super fucking sucked. Oh, man, that would have really sucked if I was down there that weekend and then, like, had a kidney stone in the middle of a game. I would have been really pissed. I don't know what I would have done.
Inside of 30, boy.
Yeah. I think it's because I stopped drinking soda and then I started drinking too much coffee so that it formed a stone because my piss was acidic from the soda and then it wasn't all of a sudden and I was just drinking too much coffee. So I traded one unhealthy thing with another unhealthy thing and then it's just kidney stone, motherfucker. And then it's oh man, this sucks.
See, meth don't give you kidney stones. You gotta try it.
Meth.
You lose weight. You have all this energy.
Drop podcast approved. You heard it here first, kids. We're family friendly on this podcast. Which, also, I want to say about ATC. So there was a kerfuffle that happened. Now, I kind of asked you a little bit, Jason. Were you there when all this shit went down in the hall?
I was there. I was also mildly involved with it. I was approached by a couple of the captains,
Jason, we can't hear you as much. Like, try to talk closer to your microphone.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Okay. He's saying sexual things to his roommates right now. That's why he muted the mic.
No, I needed the mic to prevent the kids from yelling.
Oh, sorry.
There was,
Oh, he's with his family. Now I feel like a real asshole.
It was a small thing about, yeah, it is nothing with my family.
And here I am talking like an idiot.
Wanted to have Team Happy disqualified because of some, what they considered to be cheating. What I heard from Team Happy was that it was a problem with a couple of models that were modeled incorrectly.
So they weren't WYSIWYG.
They weren't WYSIWYG. But when I was approached by the other captains, I told them that I would relay the information to my team captain because they thought I was the captain because I had all the scorecards and was doing all the pairings.
Yeah.
But I talked to Zach, captain for Manbeard Painting, and
Who was Team Happy playing when like the complaint went down?
the complaint went down primarily after they played Has-Beens,
Okay.
which was Brad Chester's.
So that was the initial like, hey, I don't think something is going on in the up and up here, and then Brad was the one who like initially said, I'm like kind of pissed off.
No, from what I understand, the Has-Beens actually had no major issue
Oh.
with what happened. This was coming straight from Alan and Brad, that they had no issue with it. And my team also had no issue with it because we had to get special consideration from Shane because my army wasn't even painted. We lost a member to our team really late, and I had to borrow models that we didn't even have. So I was coming in with almost a completely unpainted army. So,
But somebody was mad specifically at Alan, and Alan was pissed at someone?
Aaron and Alan kind of got heated towards the end. I don't know what exactly it was about, but I'm assuming Aaron thought that Alan was the one that led the charge against him. From talking to Alan and Brad, they had no fight in it. They didn't care because
Did Aaron Along and Alan, were they cool by the end of all of it?
from what I understand, yeah, everything was worked out. But again, it wasn't anything that was directly. He was probably just heat of the moment for both of them. But again, a lot of the teams were really unhappy about it.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed hard enough where the TO had to come down and DQ their team. It was, truthfully, it was probably a bad thing because if Team Happy was going to lose, I would rather have seen them lose than to see them be DQ'd.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, and I mean, I'll just point blank ask you honestly, I mean, like, do you think that, did you ever have the opinion or the notion that, like, anything was being intentionally hidden or trying to be intentionally hidden from their list?
I don't, but obviously we didn't play them. I don't know what exactly happened. I don't know exactly what the game circumstances were. So I don't know, and
Mm-hmm.
I can't say for a fact that something was hidden or something was played incorrectly or there was even any cheating at all. I have no direct hand information on
Well,
that.
I'd like to talk to them. Maybe I'll reach out to Alan and Aaron. I've talked to Aaron Along before and done interviews with Aaron, and obviously I think Alan's a cool dude. So maybe I'll reach out to them, and like if anybody wants to talk, I'd be willing to hear those sides. I think that everybody probably knows this at this point, but I threw a little bit of shade at Bella Lost Souls because I think they're just full of shit. Yeah, I know, right? Me, the Hornet's Nest, talking some shit, dude. I talk shit like it's my job. But no, like Bella Lost Souls, I'm calling you out. Bella Lost Souls, your clickbait bullshit that was not an article, and it had no information. It had no direct responses from the tournament organizer. It didn't have responses from the players. It was just a complete hack job. So I'm calling that out. It's completely bullshit. Don't even click on it. Don't even give them the click. The Bell of Lost Souls article does not know what was going on at the ATC. But the invitation is open if you guys want to talk on the podcast. Alan, what do you want to say, Alan?
Okay, I gotta sneak back to my desk. I'm at work right now.
Oh, you're at work.
Great seeing all three of you.
Yeah, you too, buddy. All right, take it easy.
They're walking by the conference room saying, "What's he doing?" All right. Talk to you later.
40K stuff, duh.
Later, Alan.
But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens to all that. But I'm glad that Buckeye Battles went well. And Joe, I'm sure you can speak to this too. Organizing events is something that is hard to do. I think that, I still think tournament organizers don't get enough realization and respect of what goes into managing all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff to manage, especially when we're talking about games going on and rules and all that.
Not even before we get to the event, just the amount of work that people put in behind the scenes. Trying to allocate better terrain, trying to allocate better resources, hooking up with other people to try to boost the level of the event, whether it be stuff that's being provided or things of that nature. And then, just the sheer amount of emails I fielded in my own time pertaining to lists and things of that nature, people don't realize. You make a correction in your list, you're not the only one doing that. I literally had probably upwards of 300 different lists I looked at for 44 people. So, it got pretty resounding there towards the submission time, but
right.
There is a lot of work that goes into it. I think anybody that runs a successful event has to put a lot of work in it because you want to make it better than it was the year before.
Definitely. Definitely.
I was able to, make some relationships this year with the guys at Archon 3D Smiths who did a bunch of 3D printed terrain for me.
That's cool.
I was able to build some relationships with some other folks around here that lent me some frontline gaming table mats that just help build things a little bit better as opposed to our painted MDF boards that we've used previously. So, I'm trying to make steps each year to make this better. And, this year I increased some of the line of sight blocking terrain, and I'll continue to do that just for the addition. But there is a lot of hard work that goes into this. There was pictures of me, I'm sure some people saw, me painting terrain while they were painting their armies. There is a lot of work that goes into an event.
Yeah, and I think that's something to consider, especially when people are offering opinions about things that may go wrong and everything else. There was the terrain thing with GT London. There is I feel like there's always, almost always a rules or a cheating something, or somebody's upset about something at any major event. And I think that, when you show up for a competitive event, obviously you're showing up to win. So there's going to be a little bit of that player pushback always in any competitive event, no matter what it is, no matter what game we're talking about. You're going to have people that are going to clash or push back with each other, I think. And I feel like inevitably, no matter which you have judges or whatever else is going on, something like that especially an event like that, I think that almost is kind of inevitable. Even if it doesn't progress to the level that it did, I think that at some point you're going to have people be upset, in that arena. And maybe I'm wrong, but I think that as long as competitive gaming exists, you'll have that.
I agree, and the thing is we deal with people, and even if we're in a competitive environment, we still deal with people that matter. Look at the wordings in GW stuff. They have to release FAQs because clearly we can't agree upon what they wrote was supposed to say.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that and you bring it to an event where people have different opinions on what that means, you're going to get into people disagreeing on, well, that's not what that says. And, that's where a TO has to step in and, stand firm with either the FAQ, the errata, or make a ruling on that and stick through the event.
Right.
But, we can agree that, we are human and people all have their own opinion. And sometimes we can take that into account and try to go with it. And sometimes people just have to learn that you got to go with what the TO
Theo's ruling is, and move on and continue on with the game. I mean,
I agree. 100%. Well, guys, thank you for talking to me today about Buckeye Battles. Jason, congratulations for winning the overall at Buckeye Battles, and hopefully, next year I'll be able to actually come again. I think that'd be great. Obviously, I want to do more recording and streaming of games, even if we're not streaming them, at least recording them and getting them up. Internet and all that jazz and all the problems we have with technology, even trying to get this thing started. But I would like to make all of that, the rest of that work, so that we're able to do more of that and get the GTTV thing rolling. I want to definitely go to Warzone Atlanta, so I don't know if you guys have any plans to go to Warzone Atlanta this year, but I would like to go to Warzone Atlanta and kind of be involved in that in a big way. So, were you guys planning to go to that at all this year?
I am not. Yeah, I'm not either.
Okay.
My schedule's kind of booked out through October. I think the only other event I got on the calendar right now is Alan's twin bolt gun, his team bolt gun event that he's doing this year. Just because I was able to get the time in. We're pretty short-staffed right now with a couple guys out hurt.
And one of these years, I'm going to get Joe up to Glass City.
I won't get up there, I promise you.
That's the thing. Everybody wants to go to everything, and everyone's like, I promise I will be at this thing. But there's so many events and so many great things to go to. We had a great time at Glass City. I think Glass City went really well, too. That was a good one this year. So I'm excited for that again next year. I got to go get my frickin' banner from Toledo, by the way. I keep forgetting about that. If she hasn't, thrown it away at this point.
I think it's still hanging on the wall.
No, it's not, because I checked the wall. I think she's got it in, the Magic the Gathering room. And, we all know how we feel about that game. Hey, at least we don't have cheaters like the Magic the Gathering pros in 40K. We don't have that kind of problem. We can all agree that we don't have to deal with that level of nonsense. But anyway, again, guys, thank you. You have a wonderful rest of the day. And I'm going to go get ready for the 9 to 5. And, have a good one. And good luck on any future tournament endeavors that you both choose to engage in.
Thanks for having us, Nate.
Yep.
Thanks, Nate. Have a good one.
Yep,
Thanks,
you
be
too.
safe.